Hi, in this video, I will be showing you how to get two Cisco IP communicators to call each other using virtual CME routers. Before we start, in my router directory, I have a C72 image file and a Dynagen configuration file that I had pre-configured. Now, let's begin with installing Dynagen and Dynamips. Dynamips is the emulator for our routers, Dynagen is the front end, and the controller. Okay, let's look at the Dynagen configuration file. I'll gedit the file. Here we can see at the top, Dynamips will be using port 2000. The image is the c72.bin file in my router directory. For router 1, the model is 7200, console port is 2221, and the interface F00 is connected to tab 1. Router 2 is the same except for the console port is 2222, and F00 is connected to tab 2. These tab interfaces will be used to connect the routers to our bridge adapter. Let's start Dynamips using port 2000. It's up. Now we can start Dynagen. Sudo Dynagen dynagen.conf. So everything is working so far. Okay, let's start the routers. I'll open a new tab to telnet into R1 using the console port 2221. Okay, we're in. Let's configure F00 interface which is connected to tab 1 with the IP address 192.168.5.1, and then we'll no shut that. Next, we'll do the same with the router 2, but we'll configure F00 with the IP address of 192.168.5.99, and no shut that as well. Okay, let's create a bridge so I can connect the routers and virtual machines. So to do this, I need to install these packages first. So we'll sudo gedit the interfaces file in /etc/network directory. Here I just copied and pasted this. I configured my ENP0S3 NIC and created BR0 as my bridge with the static interface of 192.168.5.2/24. Next, we should sudo service networking restart to apply these configurations. IPA, I'll take a look at my interfaces. So here we have the 0S3 NIC, the bridge BR0, tab 1 and tab 2. Okay, let's try to ping BR0. Okay, that works. Let's try to ping router 1. That doesn't work. So let's try pinging router 2. I don't think this would work too. So what we need to do next is sudo brctl add if br0 tab 1 tab 2 sudo ipconfig tab 1 sudo ifconfig tab 1 up and sudo ifconfig tab 2 up. Let's take a look at the interfaces again. Everything looks good. Let's try to ping the routers again. Perfect. So we have connectivity after adding the tab interfaces to our bridge. Now we can begin to install CME on our routers. ls/ftp tftp boot slash. Here I have the CME software file in my tftp server root directory. I had already installed the tftp server on this VM. You can look for a video online how to do this. It's fairly easy. Okay, let's begin. I'll go to router 1, enable, archive, tar, extract, tftp 192.168.5.2 /cme.tar. This one. This 0, not 1. The important thing here to note is that this IP address is my BR0's IP. I'll run the same commands on router 2. The installation can take some time, so I skipped that part. Let's configure our CME routers so we can access the GUI on a web browser. IPTTPH server, IPTTPH authentication local, IPTTP dis0 GUI, telephony service, max ePhones 2. You can change it to whatever number you like. IP address 192.168.5.1. This is my F00 interface IP. Max TN25. System message VoIP. Web admin sys name, admin password, password1. DN web edit, time web edit, and then create CNF files. On router 2, I copy and paste these commands and just change the IP source address to its F00 interface. Alright, the basic configuration is done. Now let's take a look at the GUI for router 1. I'll open Firefox, 192.168.5.1, user admin, password1. This is the user I created earlier. So through the web, we can configure things such as adding phones, creating extensions, and many other things. But for this video, I'll just be using the CLI to add my phones. So here I have two Windows Server 2019 VMs, each on the same subnet as my bridge. And both of them have connectivity to the routers. I have already installed CIPC with the default settings. I will add a link below where to download CIPC software. So we'll go to Preferences, connect the first VM to router 1. So 192.168.5.1. The second VM I will connect to router 2. Alright, so the phones are displaying this system message so I can confirm it's connected. Next, let's take a look. Alright, next let's get these two phones to call each other. I'll go back to router 1, enable, configure terminal, ePhone 1, MAC address, the MAC address of my phone, type CIPC, ePhone DN1. Here we are creating an extension, so number 1111, ePhone 1, button 2:1. What this command does is assigning button 2 on our phone with DN1, which is the extension 1111. Okay, we'll configure router 2 now. ePhone 1, MAC address 0888.277b.b260. Type CIPC, ePhone DN1, number 2222, not number 2. ePhone 1, button 2:1. I'll restart my phones to apply these changes. Okay, everything looks good. Button 2 on the phone on both phones have the correct extensions. So to get the phones to call each other, we need to configure dial pairs. So let's go back to router 1. Dial pair voice 2000 VoIP. I named it 2000, but you can change it to whatever you feel like. Destination pattern 2 ... What that means is I can call any number that begins with 2 and is 4 digits. So session target IPv4 192.168.5.99. Note this is router 2's IP address because I will be calling the phone on this router. With dial pair, I need to configure it on both phones for it to work. So on router 2, dial pair voice 1000 VoIP. Destination pattern 1 ... Session target IPv4 192.168.5.1. And that's it. Let's test it. So I'll be dialing 2222 on our first CIPC. See if it works. Okay, it works. The two Cisco IP communicators are able to call each other now. I hope this video was helpful to you. Thank you for watching.